And welcome back, folks. And the reveal is here. My first My Hero Academia What If. And basically everything is coming for it. If you will be so kind as to accept the fact that it's called Chapter 0, we'll get into it. Now, yeah, it's My Hero Academia and a Pokemon crossover What If. I did a little poll on Saturday, giving you guys a couple options of what it might be. And this is what it is. It is a My Hero Pokemon crossover What If. I'll be honest, I don't have the person's name in front of me who actually gave me the suggestion, but when I get to the official start of it, I'll bring that up on Saturday. But yes, now, why am I doing a Chapter 0, and why is it called Chapter to begin with? Well, the reason they're going to be called Chapters instead of Part 1, 2, and 3, all that, is just the naming system. I've been calling them Chapters when I've been writing down the story notes, so I just decided to call them Chapters. But why did I go with this one? What's it going to entail? How am I going to handle certain things? Well, that's what actually Chapter 0 here is about, is laying the groundwork for the what if before we go into the actual story. So, to start things off with, for those of you who've been watching my what ifs for a lot of amount of time, you know that I have a general rule. I don't really do fan fiction so much as I take the change that the what if causes and I run with that, and whatever changes come to the story come from that one change here. This one, I had to cheat a bit on that one. This one is more of a fan fiction style to some degree. It's the My Hero Academia characters, and they're in the Pokemon world. I had to think of it one of two ways. If I do this crossover, is it that the Pokemon exist within My Hero Academia world, and therefore they're more or less probably creatures that developed quirks essentially, and they could be partners and stuff like that, kind of like the principal did? Or was I going to do the My Hero Academia characters in a Pokemon world and essentially be telling a Pokemon-esque story with these characters? And I felt that the key decision point for me was I can actually write a beginning, middle, and end to a story, or at least create, right? I'm writing it down because I have the notes in the other room. I'm still not done with it. We're going by gyms because they're gyms and all that. I'm only on the 5th gym right now in the story, and we're already up to 20 some odd chapters, so it's going to be a long one in terms of how long it takes me to finish it out. But yeah, in terms of how to write a story, because it's a bit more of a fan fiction style in this case, I'm able to actually do a complete story, which is why I went with this one instead of just what if Deku has specific quirk, what if he was trained by this person. Yeah, I could do that, but because the story of My Hero Academia is still really young, I just can't finish those what ifs, because I'll get to the end point and I'll either have to start making stuff up completely, or I'm just going to have to wait, and by that point those what ifs are going to become stale and people are going to be like, oh yeah, he did this one. Another thing, though, that we should address here is actually chapter. When I say chapter, I mean chapter. What each episode, if you were going to call it episode, part, chapter, I've written a certain amount of information down. Now, I haven't written down like script or anything like that. That stuff I can kind of just do on the go. But the important keynotes of each chapter, I have written down, including the beat by beat for every Pokemon battle. I have done that. Don't worry. But more importantly is that normally when you see my what ifs, they all kind of stay within the general time frame, usually between 20 and 30 minutes. Sometimes I'll make rare exceptions to go beyond that when it's something I'm finishing up and I just don't feel like doing a 15-minute part, whatever. But this is going to be one of those things that whatever information is in that chapter is going into that episode or chapter in that video. So you may get some chapters that are going to be 10 to 15 minutes long. You might get some that are 20 to 30 minutes long. They are going to fluctuate, but that's the way that's going to break down. Now, a few other things we need to point out, and this is more for the lore of what's going to be going on here. Yes, I made teams up for all of them. I won't go into, I'm not going to go into detail what their starters are in this or right now or what teams they're going to look like. But when I get to the video, yes, I will explain why I chose the Pokemon I did for their teams. But also just because this is fan fiction-y, on the more fan fiction-y side, Doesn't mean I'm not going to try to incorporate elements from the actual series of My Hero Academia beyond just the characters. Certain story elements, certain big fights that happen. I'm going to try to do my best to incorporate all of those, or to the best of my ability. Granted. Um, so I had that. I'm just making sure I'm getting every little piece of information I can in this to let you know what we're going to be dealing with. Let's see here now. There were two big ones I wanted to go over. Okay, region. Now this one, I feel bad about this because I literally wrote down, I could literally go in the other room right now and get my book and show you what I put down and just expand this. And in fact, maybe I'll quickly do that because I'm pre-recording this. You know what? Why don't we take a little walk real quick so I can get my book and show you? Because unfortunately, I tried to get images of it. Try to get images and basically upload it to the computer and then edit it. But I quickly found out that from a size comparison, it wasn't going to work out. So give me 1 second. All right. Let me show you this region I have made up. This very crappily drawn, but actually, I'll be flat out honest with my own abilities right now. I am actually not a terrible artist, all things considered. I'm not a huge art. I'm not like amazing, but I'm actually, when I'm on my game, I'm not a terrible artist. And for a sketch, I think this is okay. So this is the bottom. This page right here is the bottom half. This is the upper half. So here is, let's see if this will get the focus real quick. There we go. There we go. So there you get your little starting town right down there. Then you go up and you see all this wonderful stuff. There's the stadium. Like some of the little and stuff like that. And then there's the second part of the region. You get the gyms, and you get a dragon gym clearly right there. Guess who the gym leader for that one is? And then come on. This is so like haphazard of me right now. But I'm enjoying myself right now. So yeah, you can see there's another gym right there. It looks like two fists up there. That's the final gym. I won't go into too much depth, and I'm just gonna scratch me back down here now. I did that crap. Now I'm all tiny. No, I'm too tiny. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I mean, gym leaders, all that. I've created Elite Four. I've done my I put all the stops into this. So the Elite Four. There's gym leaders. There's obviously All Might's the champion. Now, one last thing I need to address, or we need to address, is that obviously in My Hero Academia, there are quirks. And some quirks seriously change the physical appearance of their user. How do I address that with it? Or like an All Might square. Like All Might before he got his injury was always in his buff form, and my battery's dying pretty quick. But fortunately, I'll be able to finish this video out long before I there we go. Long before I have to put it on the charger. But yeah, why, like All Might before he got his injury could always stay in his buff form. Then he can only stay in for a certain amount of time, and I really much can't stay in it at all. How do I address that? Well, in this, and by the way, the region, bad pun, it's the hero region. The hero region. Basically, the hero region. Get it? The hero region. Yeah, terrible. I know it's terrible. But hey, it's all for fun. But the way I'm kind of implying that is that first off, there's no new Pokemon. This is just a region that has access to all the Pokemon. So that way there was no limitation on teams. But more importantly, I kind of rationalized it in that in this region, the people of the region seem to have just, their bond with their Pokemon has just grown stronger over the years to the point where physical traits started to show up in people that mirrored Pokemon. These quirks they don't have any superpowers. Except with the rare exception of All Might. Like All Might is one of the only ones who's an exception to this, and really all it does is give him some enhanced strength. That's about it, and changes his appearance. Still, that's why he's considered the greatest bond between Pokemon. Maybe, and the theory in this region is maybe it's a clue to the ancestry between humans and Pokemon, that maybe we're becoming more like Pokemon, or Pokemon are becoming more like us. So it's all for aesthetics. You'll see like Asui still has her frog tongue. or not even frog. Like she maybe has a bit of a longer tongue. She doesn't actually have her frog tongue, but she has frog-like traits. Obviously, Tokiyami still has his bird head. Shoto still looks, or Shota, sorry, still looks like that blocky. I don't know what Shota's supposed to look like, but there's that. Like Mineta still has that weird those his great balls, if you will. So he still has those. And then obviously you'll get other individuals who have similar appearances, looks, all that. But yeah, so that's how I explain quirks. You saw my really crappy region, but that's my region. At some point, I mean, I had it up there. If someone wants to maybe try to create like with better art than I had available, obviously I just sketched it out from what you saw there. Send it to me. I will completely give you credit for that because I'd love to see someone do that. Um, and yeah, so and now they have their own it's their own region. Quirks are just physical traits. And yeah, that's I think the last bit I wanted to go over. So it is in fact a Pokemon My Hero crossover. We're not getting our first true episode until Saturday when I have time to actually set it up properly because I want to really try to throw a bit of extra stuff in this one to make it a little bit more special. Because first off, it's my first My Hero, and this is one where I'm really putting some effort into the story. So I want to try to put a little bit more into the what if, not just having me and the screen here. Maybe more images and a bit more interactions than what we're normally seeing. Until then, though, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. So I will be back tomorrow, which technically this is Tuesday. I'm recording it for Thursday because I got to work. I will see you tomorrow, Friday, for another What If and Who Would Win. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time, folks. Have a good one. Let me try that again. Have a good one.